As someone who does content creation and works a 9 to 5, it can be overwhelming sometimes to manage both. What motivates me is knowing that being a content creator is more than just posting videos. It's about being in spaces to tell your story and building community around common interests. Content creation brings me joy, and though I'm still working a 9 to 5, I am building something much bigger for myself and my creative future. Hi everyone, this video is for anyone who is working a 9 to 5 and doing content creation, because I know it is difficult, okay? I'm doing the same exact thing. I wanted to make a video to share some tips, some learnings, because I feel like the best way that we can navigate it is just to have some tools and resources to manage our mental health, manage our workload, and always remember your why. Why is this bigger goal that you have, and just have that in the back of your mind, so when you are coming home late from work or whatever it is and you gotta edit videos, you know your why. The reality of working a 9 to 5 and doing content creation can be a very stressful combination. And I know for myself, and I've been doing it for about 5-6 years of doing both, and it can be stressful. And I think one of the things that I've learned is it's okay if you have to take time for yourself to manage your workload, juggle the demands of your work, your day-to-day work, and the demands of being a content creator. Because I would say, I think things have probably ramped up over the past couple of years in terms of what the demands are in our jobs, our day-to-day jobs, and the demands are for being a content creator. Because I think that because a lot of people are doing content creation now, and because there's so much money and investment that brands are putting into the content creator ecosystem, there's just a lot more eyes on it. And I think because of that, your quality has to be good. You have to be posting consistently and all of these different things, where when content creation was just becoming a thing, you didn't really have to do that. I remember watching like the OG YouTubers, like they probably posted like once a week and that was fine. Maybe they posted on Instagram. TikTok didn't exist yet. So it was really just YouTube that they were growing their community on. So they weren't spread across all of these different platforms. And I think that that is kind of the expectation now. If you're a content creator, you have to be making short form, making long form, and that can be very overwhelming. So I feel like I've kind of learned over time how to manage both. We'll dive more into tips and tools to actually help you manage your workload, working a 9 to 5, and also being a content creator. Your mental health is just as important as your physical health. So sometimes there can be consequences if you're not taking care of your brain up here. So this is really where self-care comes in. So prioritizing self-care in your routine, finding ways that soothe your mind, because I think that when we work a 9 to 5, we're very much in our logical brain majority of the time. Unless you're working like a super creative job, like that's amazing, that's great, I love that for you. But a lot of us are in our logical brain. We are logically thinking through things, analyzing things, looking at data. So we kind of have this, I want to say towards the end of the day, you're tired. You're mentally tired from all of that. So you're mentally tired from work by the end of the day. How can you pour that into your content creation? I feel like that is my main struggle, okay? It's like finding the mental capacity to do both. And I think what I found really helpful is you're going to need time to relax. You're going to need time throughout the day, throughout the week, to relax your mind. Finding those things or activities that really bring you joy throughout your week can bring relaxation to your mind. So maybe you like to paint, or maybe you like to draw. These are all things that you can incorporate into your routine that can relax your mind so you're not thinking about work all the time. Another thing I think is really important is to seek out the support that you need, whether that's talking to a professional about your workload, or maybe you have some friends who are also content creators or also aspiring entrepreneurs who are building these businesses and also working 9 to 5. You can connect with them, like have conversations with them. Like we are all experiencing the same things. Like you'd be so surprised how much your experience is going to resemble somebody else. The great thing is you can do both. I think it's just important to practice some strategies that can help you balance the workload. So I'm going to show you all some things that can help you for effective time management. So this is my daily schedule. I don't follow it to a T every day, but I definitely tend to keep it at least as concise as I can. I wrote down my day in like time blocks. So the beginning of the day, gym, stretching, getting ready for work, 9 to 5, work, daily tasks, 5 to 6, make dinner, rest, 6 to 8, edit YouTube videos, content planning, 8 to 9:30, edit beats, practice guitar, 9:30 to 10:30, read, journal, meditate, prepare for bed, 10:30 to 11, lights out, go to bed, rest. So this is just kind of an example of what your day can look like, and you can really find what works for you. It took me a little while to really figure out a process that works for me. I think that just may be the case when it comes to time management, because your day may look different. Like maybe you're more busy at work one day than the next day, or maybe this week is more different. Maybe you're making a lot of content one week. So kind of almost make like an outline of your day, and then you can always just plug in the time frames. First, it just starts with creating that structure, creating that idea of making your day look a certain way. So then you know, hey, I want to get this done this day. I want to get this done that day. And then you can kind of structure your day on what you want to get done. So if you know you want to edit, structure your day so you have time to edit. If you have other hobbies like practicing guitar or painting, make sure you plan in that time as well, because that time is also important. Like content creation is important, your 9 to 5 is important, but also the things that have nothing to do with those two things are also super important. So make sure that you also plan time for those things. I also wanted to share some of my favorite tools and tips for staying organized, especially if you struggle with balancing content creation in your 9 to 5. So one of the first things I use is Notion. It has so many features in it, and I really love it because you can really use it as like a database for your content creation. I like to structure my content planning in this like tracker system. They have a way that you can add a tracker to your Notion project. I use a tracker for my short form content and my long form content. It's pretty much like project management, because in a way, we have to project manage our content creation. That is the way that I've been kind of thinking about my content. So when I make something, I'm like, okay, it's in the filming stage right now. I can track that. It's in the editing stage right now. I can track that too. That I found super helpful, because if you don't stay on track with your content creation projects, it's going to be hard to manage it all. Because I think that that's the main thing, right? Is burnout. Having so much that you want to create, want to do. Maybe you made a bunch of things, but you haven't put them out yet. So understanding that each piece of content you make is its own project. What stage is your project in? Are you in the brainstorming phase? Are you in the editing phase? Understand what that timeline looks like so that you can take each project you're working on from the beginning to the end. Another general tip is just to use a calendar. I really love Google Calendars because you can just put the time frame in that you're doing specific things. It'll also connect it to your Gmail account, so you'll get those updates. You will get those notifications when you need to do something. So that's another way to hold yourself accountable if there's specific things you want to do either throughout the day, throughout the week. Literally putting it in your calendar, like physically seeing it, physically seeing the time block there, so you know, hey, I'm filming today, or hey, I'm editing today. And I think that that's super helpful and will definitely help you get a lot of things done. Lastly, I'm gonna end on some mindfulness techniques for content creators, because putting out your art is so powerful. Like, that's why I mentioned before to know your why. Why do you want to do content creation? Why does it light you up? Why does it bring you joy? And all throughout that process of having a 9 to 5, you will remember why you're doing it. So, some mindfulness tips for content creators. meditate, 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 meditate. Make sure you're meditating. I think that your mindfulness is equally equivalent to how productive you are. If you are super stressed out or you're in a state of anxiety, it's going to be really hard for you to create from that. So it starts in the mind. You don't always have to be go, go, go all the time, because I think that that's the culture that we're all in a way, is like go, 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 hustle, bustle, gotta get to work, gotta get home, gotta make dinner. I totally get it. But we do have to find ways to carve out time to take care of our mind. This is where your content creator ideas are, okay? They're all up here. So you have to take care of your mind, and meditating is one of the best ways to relax your mind, ease anxiety, ease stress. You don't have to do it for that long throughout the day. Like, you can do 5 to 10 minutes, 20 minutes if you want to do 20 minutes. And it really just helps you to start to get yourself into the routine of not being in a habitual stressed out state. Another thing you can do is just to take breaks regularly. Take breaks when you're at work, take breaks when you're making content. I did that today before I filmed this video. I was like, I need to eat some food. I want to have some energy for this video. So I took a break. So breaks are also necessary too. So you can go for a walk, you can go out in nature, really anything that gets you away from your screen. I think that that's kind of the important thing about taking a break, is don't take a break and you're like scrolling, right? Like, actually take a break, actually go outside, actually see the sun, okay? Like, actually see the world, okay? Not just on a screen. The great thing too about being creative is you can have multiple creative outlets. It doesn't just have to be content creation. So if you love to paint, if you love to play music, if you love to travel, like whatever it is, these are all a part of your journey just being alive. You don't always have to, you actually don't always have to document things too. I've done that for myself too, where I'm like, I'm not gonna make a video about this. I just wanna be present. And you can kind of find that line within yourself on what you wanna record and what you don't wanna record, but find things that bring you joy. I think that this is such a cool time where we have so many resources and so much access to things, going to events, meeting people, like all of that is just still things that you can experience. It doesn't have to do with your 9 to 5. It also doesn't have to do with content creation. You can just enjoy it. You can just find things that you enjoy, find hobbies that you enjoy, and just make them a part of your day-to-day. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope this helped anyone out there who is working a 9 to 5. Being a content creator, it is hard, okay? The balance is difficult. I am not gonna lie, but it can be done, especially when you remember your why, you know why you're doing it. All of these greater goals are still very important. Yes, you're working a 9 to 5, but you're also working towards something for yourself and your own personal fulfillment. That is important, and I will drill that in my own mind and say what I'm doing is important. So just remember that throughout your journey. There's a reason why you're drawn to content creation, and if you have to work a 9 to 5 in between that time, that's okay. There's a lot of us who are doing it. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know in the comments if any of you are working a 9 to 5 and content creators. I would love to know, share some tips, share some insight, because we can just all help each other get to our goals and build community. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.